Hey, it's Thursday. Thursdays around here, that's when we do high-level training. Now, what I like about Thursdays is I get to get down in the nitty-gritty on some things that agents don't even think about. Some stuff that I've been doing for the last 20, 30 years in sales. Not that I know everything, it's that I always become a student when I'm learning something, and I'm changing all the time to basically overcome market conditions, or maybe there's something weird going on with how customers are acting. You just never know. So today, deep dive into how to talk to people using the love method that will blow your mind. So stay tuned and stay along. Get ready. What's a conversion?
Sort of moving someone along the line to where they actually purchase.
What would be a conversion on the first call?
Setting an appointment.
Setting an appointment. What else? Pre-qual, calling a lender, whatever it is. Maybe just scheduling a time for another phone call. That would be considered a conversion. So a lot of times what happens is we get super confused on, do you realize what goes on in between the lead and the end sale? It could be 8 months. It could be 2 weeks. It could be 3 months. It could be 6 months. It's 1,000 different things, okay? And so again, don't get caught up in the conversion aspect of, well, I had this call and I didn't get anything. Well, no, just number one, them answering. And take in mind, you guys and gals could get a lead from an old coworker or a relative or a best friend, and the same shit happens. But for some reason, with a lead, you guys take it more personal. I take it more personal when someone has said, hey Dave, go see this person, Maria. She's gonna take good care of you. And there's no communication, like I lose my mind, right? Because I was referred to someone and now somehow the ball got dropped or whatever the case may be. And you're like, well, what the hell? What's going on here, right? Has anyone ever had that happen? I literally had this happen this past week. One of my best clients, I helped him buy his first home and then helped him buy his second home. Super cool dude. Okay, and his wife reached out in a text, said, Dave, my sister is thinking about buying a house. Perfect, put us in a group text. Introduce myself. Hey, when you get a chance, let me know when you're free. Just want to find out what's going on with you and buying a home. Super simple. Hey, I'm really busy. I'm working a crazy 12-hour shift as a nurse. I'll get back to you tomorrow. Doesn't get back to me, and I didn't chase her because I forgot. Okay? Or else I would have probably followed up. Guess what kind of text message I get from her on Sunday? Hey, I just looked at a house with a Zillow agent. Could you get some more information on it because she didn't really know what was going on? What? Happens to me. So it's gonna happen to you. How crazy, right? Life is for these people that are in the home buying process because there's all this stuff out there that the consumer can get their hands on. Why should I bother Katie at the moment when I can go over here and do what I need to do, right? It's the equivalent of going on WebMD going, oh, this is how you do an open heart surgery? Oh, you know, like that's what they're saying, basically. So I talked to her, I said, whoa, hey now, what's going on here? Like, have you got pre-qualified? Well, you know, I talked to someone and then I reached out in a marketplace. I'm like, oh my God. I had to scale, I had to kind of control the situation here because this person was all over the place, right? So I had to kind of bring her back to reality. So I connected her with Dan and, you know, now things are starting to like calm down a little bit. But that's what happens with most consumers, okay? They start getting excitable. It's like, think about the last time you made a major purchase. How much research did you do prior to actually engaging in the buying process? Believe that. Who else? What else do you guys end up doing when you make a major purchase?
I take my time to really think about it and weigh out pros and cons.
Okay. What about when buying airfare? Do you just look at one airlines or do you do multiples?
Have a few.
Yeah, exactly. Same goes for real estate, and even more so because it's so expensive, right? You know, Spencer's appliance sale where you get an extra 50% off if you mention this ad. type thing, right? Think about how the consumers are just hit with so much stuff, okay? How to buy a house, and you go on YouTube, you know, and type something in saying, I'm thinking about buying a house. What's the best way to buy a house? You'll get all this information, right? So that's what we got to start thinking about when we are talking to the consumer. Don't think they don't know everything, because they know something. It's what that something is, okay? So that's the mindset. That's what you got to think about when you're talking to these people. And again, I think sometimes we look at it as, well, they don't know anything, so I have to over-educate them. Well, now you're putting those people to sleep. What if it is a Paula that has done a shitload of research, and now you're going in there doing some basic 101, and I'm like, okay, Paula, this is the process, and blah, blah, blah. She's like, exactly. She's falling asleep, okay? So you have to keep that stuff in mind. Now, yesterday, who was all here? Okay. What did we talk about yesterday? Fill everyone else in. Give them the cliff notes of yesterday.
We talked about the love method.
Okay.
Practiced it a few times.
Okay.
Objection handling.
Objection handling. What else?
Talk less and listen more.
Okay. Who wasn't here? Keep going.
Most free objects.
Okay. What else?
Doesn't matter how you feel, it's how the client feels.
Oh, can you explain that?
Yeah, for example, you can say that you took your clients out to do showings, and then you come home and you're like, wow, I feel like it went really well. But that's not what matters. What matters is how the client feels. If they feel like it went well and they found homes that actually interest them.
Is that confusing? Like literally you can feel shitty, but your client is super excited. That's weird, right? You feel that it should be even keel. It's not like that. Like the analogy, if you brush your teeth with your right hand, okay, this is the best analogy I have, so if I change it up, I'll change it up someday. But you know how it feels to brush your teeth with the one hand that you use, right? But if I say change it and use your opposite, it's gonna feel really weird, but your teeth are still getting brushed. But it doesn't feel right, but the teeth are still getting brushed. It's the same thing with a client. Sometimes you may not feel like it is like, oh my God, this is so great. My client is so into me and I'm into them, and lots of love fest, and they're gonna buy this multi-million-dollar house. Oh, this is so awesome. Or you're gonna have some clients like Katie has ran into in the last several months to where they're not happy-go-lucky. They don't make you feel good, but you still get the job done, okay? So you really have to understand that when you start to get that feeling that you're still doing what you need to do as a salesperson getting the job done, okay? You guys like understand that piece? Mm-hmm. It is confusing, okay? It really is. And it's something that's how you battle the emotional battlefield in this game. Because it's 80% emotional, just brain damage, right? Yeah. Who's had brain damage? Raise your hand. I want to see the brain damage. Okay, we're all on the same page. And then I get brain damage too. We're all in this together. Okay.
Follow-up question.
Yes.
What do you say is the best way for determining, asking the questions, looking for the body language, the expressions, for really reading, how did my client feel this way?
It's all of it. There's no magic question.
Like that, yeah.
You know, if your client is standing there with the listings that maybe you looked at that day and you're wrapping up at the end of the day, go ahead and ask me, like, how did you think today went?
How do you think today went?
You know, there's definitely some houses out there that we saw that we kind of liked.
Not so great.
Then what would you say back?
Would say, well, I don't know, I guess I would have played the rating game and I would have...
Okay, you did all that. This is okay. Just, you're wrapping up, you're about to hop in each other's car, so...
So nothing's jumping out at you just yet, or, something that it looks like the one. We will keep looking.
Okay, you see, stop right there.
Okay.
So you do the same thing I just did.
Okay.
So Paula, how did you think today went?
Okay.
Hold on now. What's going on? This is supposed to be exciting, and I can tell you're not excited. See, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna talk about that. See, this is the part that you gotta get good at. Okay, once you get good, then you get great, and then you get awesome. See, I'm gonna go for the kill shot for that particular emotion that I see, because no one does it. So now I'm gonna be different. Because if I skirt over that and just go to, oh, well, don't worry about it, we're gonna find the right house, that's what everyone else is saying. So you have to be comfortable with asking that question and going deeper, because that was a surface answer. So they'd be like, okay, Paula, hold on a second here. You're supposed to be excited. My voice and my tonality is going to change. Now, if you're in sales guy mode and you're like, well, Paula, what's going on with your, demeanor? They're gonna be like, you're on crack, okay? So I'd be like, Paula, what's going on? I can tell that wasn't the answer I was hoping for. So tell me, really, what's going on?
Well, the houses were okay, but they just weren't, they weren't exactly what I'm looking for.
And I get that. Listen, this is the first time that we just went out. Now, did you have the expectation that you're gonna find the right one the first time out? See, I'm setting it up because I want to find out where the mindset is.
Maybe.
Okay. And I know you're excited, and I know you're ready because you wouldn't have gone through the pre-qualification process and, getting everything ready. I know your lease is up in September. There's plenty of time. But listen, here's one thing that I'm not going to allow. I'm not going to allow you to settle. See what I'm doing? Yeah. And then I would go right into my car buying analogy. I'm sure you purchased a car in the past that you hated. And every time you got in there and started it up, you hated how that car felt and sounded and handled on the road. Well, guess what? When you hit the garage door button and you pull into your garage, I want to make sure that you love your house. So if we have to look all over the valley to find the right house, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
The right one's out there. See what I'm doing? I'm breaking it down. Hear my demeanor? Like I will say that, and I'm 100% sincere. That's not like, oh, Dave's acting. I'm being true. Because when you're true with someone, they feel that. Who wants to try that? Who feels confident enough to try that? By the way, this is what you call a trading session. Trading sessions cost you 0 to screw up, but it'll cost you everything not to try. Come on, so come up here. So I'm the client, and we're standing by the car, my car door's right here, and we're kind of doing a little, you've done a little bit of a recap over the day. You go ahead and ask me that question, I'm gonna act away.
Hey, what'd you think of today?
It was interesting. I thought maybe we'd see something a little more appealing. I'm just a little, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I think that, let's put this in perspective. This is our first day out.
True.
First day out. We have all the time. I am not gonna let you settle. And if we have to go see 50 homes and it takes 6 months, so be it. That's my job, that's what I'm here to do. So I want you to really just relax into the process. We are gonna find what you want. And again, I will not let you settle.
Pull the car analogy in. Pull that in.
So I'm sure that you've bought something in the past, maybe a car, but you can remember that you were really disappointed, had buyer's remorse. Can you relate to that?
Oh yeah, I have a car right now that I have that.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna do that. Because every time you pull in, you're probably regretting your choice. And I want you to pull into that garage at your next home and be ecstatic at your choice.
I think that's on it.
There you
Did
go.
you hear the tonality? It's Jennifer, good job.
Yeah, that's great.
Good job. See, that's the game that's played. That's the game. We're not psycho salespeople all the time like Wolf of Wall Street, like, whoa, ring the bell. Sometimes we gotta tone it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I know, that stuff gets me fired up. Just relax, okay? This is what we have to do sometimes with our clients, because in our mind, we're trying to force that square peg in a round hole. Okay, the love method. This is key to this whole deal. So any scripts, any framework, all this stuff, the love method has to come into play. And I know yesterday, who was the first time people have heard the love method yesterday? Okay, did that, oh, interesting, right? So we're gonna drive this home a little more, okay? Listen, observe, validate, and expand. Remember, you're listening to the client. Okay, so say something gall in the sense of whatever.
I had a fantastic workout this morning.
Okay, I just listened. I'm observing him. Okay, now I could be like this, and he's talking to me. How's that going to make him feel?
Like him going, he don't give a crap.
Right? Okay. Or this is over the phone. It's like you could say something like, "Oh," that would be observing over the phone. You're there, letting them know. You know, sometimes when you're talking to someone, you're like, "Hello, are you there?" "Oh yeah, I'm just listening." No, you got to let them know that you're engaged in listening. Okay. You're going to validate. Now that validation can be in multiples of things. It could be like, "Oh wow, you work out?" You know, it's like you're just confirming it. Or over the phone, that might be like, "Oh, that's cool." That's a validation. You just validated something he said. The expand piece, this is the key to this. You're going to expand on the key ingredient of what he just spoke about. So he said he had a great workout today. So I'm going to expand off of that and say, "Well, what kind of workout did you have?"
Buys and tries.
Buys and tries. You trying to get 28-inch pythons going, or
Try to get arms like you.
what are you trying to do? And so then what I would do is I acknowledged the buys and tries, and I'd be like, "Well, so what gym are you working out at?"
I like to switch it up. Sometimes Planet Fitness, sometimes other places.
"Oh, I've heard both those gyms are pretty good." Is that, now see, I control where I expand. So I validated the two gyms. Now I'm going to expand off that, and I'm going to say, "Oh, is that near where you live?"
Yeah, it's about 10 minutes away.
"What crossroads do you live?"
The 1-1 in Frank Lloyd Wright.
See what I just did? See how I did that? I can take that expand, and I can go any direction I want. Okay? Now I could expand more in which gym and what equipment, but that's enough. I don't need to go any deeper on that. So it's kind of like when you're starting to talk to someone at the beginning phases of getting to know a client, and you're going back and forth. The same methodology applies, but you have to be careful on where you take the conversation, or else you will be out in left field, okay? And you'll keep validating and expanding, and next thing you know, you're writing down Aunt Ruth's baked bean dish. Like, where did this conversation go? You gotta be cognizant of where you're taking the conversation, okay? So yesterday we did a little drill to where we started off a conversation, then what would happen is you would then listen, observe, validate, and expand. I would give you an answer, and then the next person goes, so on and so forth, okay? So I want to do a couple rounds of that, and I want to stay on point, okay? We're going to keep it in the real estate world. We're not talking about nothing. I want to focus in on a real estate type conversation, okay? So it's important that you listen. See, that's the key to this thing. See, sometimes when people say, like, "Well, Katie, I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Oh, I have the perfect house for you." They didn't even finish, okay? Maybe they want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo. And you're saying, "I have the perfect house for you." You see how that? So again, let's make sure we listen. And so we're gonna go around the room. You guys got it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it simple. Yeah, I'm moving here from Chicago, and I'm looking for a house in North Scottsdale.
North Scottsdale's really nice. Is there a specific neighborhood that you're looking at?
I'm trying to stay up off of like Pima and the Frank Lloyd Wright area.
Oh, Pima and Frank Lloyd Wright, that's a great area. A lot going on there. Have you visited there before you moved there? No, that was terrible. Frank Lloyd Wright and Pima, that's a great area. Is your work close by?
My work is off of where the Mayo Clinic is, right there. I think that's what, 64th and the 101? That's where I work.
Nice. Now, do you go into work every day or sometimes maybe remote?
No, I go into work.
I see.
Oh, I go into work.
Do you have any preference of single story, double story? I knew exactly what you were doing.
See? Now watch. You were listening over here. You zoned out because you're like, "Oh shit, what am I gonna say?" She spoke, and then you were like, "3-bedroom, 2-bath?" Now listen, this is perfect. This is perfect, okay? This is what we do, guys. We jump ahead and we miss out on the little juicy nuggets of really what the client is looking for, okay? Now, when you get really good at this, your clients will be like this. And I'm not saying from the standpoint of taking advantage of someone. You will just get at a much deeper level of understanding where your client's coming from. So, I commute to my work at the Mayo Clinic. What do you do at the Mayo Clinic?
Okay, what do you do at Mayo Clinic?
I'm a doctor.
How long have you been a doctor for?
It's going on like 20 years.
Wow, are you moving down to Arizona?
I just said I'm a doctor. Are doctors kind of divas? And then they finally get a job and they're doing quite well. So that would be something where I'd be like, well, wow, Mayo Clinic, so what kind of doctor are you? So what kind of medicine do you practice?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. What kind of medicine do you practice?
I'm an open heart surgeon.
I'll see you in future.
That'd be a funny thing to say.
So now I said I'm an open heart surgeon. I would say something like, it's doctors like you that I'm sure you've made a huge impact in a lot of people's lives. And then I would probably, now again, okay, so
Transition.
there's been a lot here, and I know we're doing one-liners, but you see now where you gotta start kind of like shifting the conversation. So Paula, pick up, you got all the details here. So this is where you would go, okay, doctor at the Mayo, you wanna live in the Pima, Frank Lloyd Wright area, or off the 101. Now transition into the house piece.
Have you looked at anything online? Have you seen any houses?
Yeah, I've looked online. Several homes out there that are interesting.
Is it just going to be you?
No, my family. I actually take care of my mother, and I have 5 kids. So we have a house full. So we definitely need, something with probably 5 bedrooms, a casita, multiple baths. Like, we have a big family.
Okay, nice. Your kids, are they school age?
Okay, excellent. You see what she did? Okay? Kids are important to people that have kids. Kind of like people that don't have kids but have pets. Pets are really important. It's a thing, okay? And that's fine. That is completely fine. But you gotta remember, there's gonna be these little beaks that come up, and that is your opportunity to get in there and dig around a little bit, okay? So go ahead and ask the question again.
Are your kids school age?
Yes, they are. Actually, I have one that's going to ASU, and I have 2 in high school, and I have, how many kids did I say I had? I have 2 that are in middle school.
Okay, so ideally, I know obviously you have a lot of children, you'll need a lot of bedrooms.
Are they going to be in private or public school? Is that, because again, that's another thing that's super important with the kids, is private or public schools, okay? The charter schools, and that's why people base this in some of these, schools out there.
So what schools do they go to?
They get homeschooled.
So you could pretty much be anywhere as long as it's close to your work within that area,
What do you guys say?
I think I would just be like going to another question.
Or maybe talk more about the house.
Yeah,
And going to
yeah.
because that was next one, like maybe a single level home for the mother-in-law, or
I would have done something like, okay, so with the kids being homeschooled, do you need like an area, kind of like a loft area or a bigger room where the kids, something like that. There you go. And then I would say, yeah, something like that. That would probably work best. Listen. I'm making you focus on 2 things, okay? 1, presentation of self. You have to be enthusiastic, because if that was your true demeanor, this dude, you haven't gotten to the price yet. This guy's gonna spend a grip of money. Better be excited. So when you train and you force yourself to get that excitement, that real world type feeling, it's easier for you to do and more genuine when you're in person. Now, some people will say, oh, Dave, it's different than when I'm with clients. No. Unfortunately, no. I know that for a fact because I study people. When we used to do a lot of open houses and I would see agents coming through, agents would act just like you would think. Humdrum, is this the one you want to write an offer? Okay, let's go look at the next one. Like, the stuff that I would see and hear was atrocious. So I know that that happens, okay?
That's great. There's some wonderful homes in DC Branch and North Scottsdale that have casitas. Are you looking for a specific area within, like, neighborhoods within North Scottsdale?
Yeah, DC Ranch is okay. I'm looking for something with a little more elbow room. I have a good friend. Actually, we went to college together. He's also a doctor at Mayo, and he lives in the Silverleaf community.
Oh, Silverleaf, nice. You want to be higher up on the mountain or lower on the mountain, closer to where your friend might be?
No. Do you want to be higher on the mountain than your friend, or you want to be lower?
You better.
You see what I'm doing?
Yeah. Okay, Silverleaf, you want to be higher on the mountain than your friend or lower?
You know, if it's doable, I'd like to be higher. We've been competitive over the years.
You're gonna have a lot of great choices in Silverleaf. There are estate homes there that are absolutely breathtaking. You're gonna be able to have an indoor gym, a pool, and we're gonna really be able to see some amazing homes that should fit your family.
Okay. I would have taken that in the same breath, acknowledge that, and then go, okay, if you could close your eyes.
So if you could close your eyes and envision the perfect home for you and your family, what are some of the characteristics? What do you see when you close your eyes?
Definitely will need at least a 5-car garage. I'm okay if one side is tandem. I know sometimes they play around with that stuff. I have several cars. Minimum 6 bedrooms. And like I said, 5 in the main house, could have a casita. Definitely pool, spa. We're open to 2-story. I know sometimes on the side of the mountain, a lot of those are like 2-story, and you know, the bottom goes out and you know, the pool's there along with like a game room and stuff. So that would probably be the ideal scenario for me.
You know what? This has just reminded me that I sold a beautiful home in
You gotta recap. Why are you going down that road? See, he needs to be heard that you're paying attention. So now you need to say, okay, perfect. So let me just make sure I have this straight. You're looking for, and then repeat what I just said.
Okay, so beautiful. I see that you're looking for 5-bedroom and all that.
No, repeat it back.
6-bedroom and 5-car garage. Maybe a casita might work for you. I was also wondering that are you into golf?
Hold on now. Hold on. You gotta make me feel like you're paying attention.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you're paying attention.
Yeah.
Because you're just kind of this is the pinnacle. Because this next step, you're gonna find out what the budget is. Okay? So this is where you have to be like, okay, Dr. Dave, Silverleaf higher up on the mountain than your buddy. Okay, we'll work on that. 2, you want at least 5 bedrooms in the main house, casita for the 6th, pool, spa, you're open to a 2-story or single. So you gotta recap everything verbatim, okay? And then at the end say, did I miss anything? See, that's the mint on the pillow. That's going to the client, hey, I'm here to play. I'm listening to everything you say because I'm your gal. So repeat from the top.
All right, that sounds wonderful. 5 bedrooms, maybe 6 as a casita.
Hey, I just want to make sure I heard everything right.
Hey, I just want to make sure that I heard everything right. It's so are we gonna look for 5-bedroom with casita, 5-car garage, maybe 2-story, higher than your friend. We're gonna definitely find that out for you. Do you have a set budget for this home?
That's not for you to answer. Yep, that sounds right, but also too, probably if you could find something with a sport court, that would be the icing on the cake, because my one son really likes basketball.
All right, so adding that sport court, now we have the picture perfect home. What kind of budget are you looking at? Or what kind of budget are we working with?
This is the key to this, okay? Just don't go rambling right into it. This is where you're like, okay, I just want to make sure I heard everything. 5-bedroom main house, casita, that would give you the extra 6th room, pool, spa, you're okay with 2-story versus 1-story, 5-car garage, sport court. I think that was everything. Okay, perfect. So now here's what I'm gonna do. I wanna pull together, oh, I almost forgot. Your budget. You gotta make, that's where the juice comes in. Because you're so caught up in what the house is, that price doesn't matter. How do you think that makes someone feel? They're just excited to chomping at the bit, right? They're chomping at the bit, like, holy shit, this dude's gonna do some work for me, okay? So then you make that segue, oh, geez, I almost forgot. You have to throw a little something in there. Oh, I almost forgot. Oh, shoot, I almost forgot. I kind of forgot the most important part. I'm sure you're on a budget. You know, something like that. Okay, now you know you're dealing with a higher stature person. Okay, he already has a buddy in Silverlake. Do you think that buddy knows a realtor?
Yeah.
So you guys have to you gotta be on your A game. Okay? Because this is the make or break it part. Okay? Because you may be having a conversation with this guy, and then he talks to his buddy and says, oh, hey, I got an agent I can refer you to. You know what? I'm good. I really like this person I'm dealing with. Say, or if you suck, guess what? Give me the name and number of this other person. Okay? Unfortunately, that's how it works. Okay? So give me like the hype, and then the oops, I almost forgot. What's your budget?
All right, so let me recap here. We're looking for a 5-car garage, 6-bedroom, 5 being okay with the casita, open to 2-story, and sport court for the kids. Did I miss anything? Or do I ask that again? Or I pretty much had everything out. All right.
So now here's what I'm gonna do. I'll pull together some homes.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull together some homes and, oh, I completely forgot. So what kind of budget are we working with?
All right, be more exaggerated. That was too.
Yeah, because I forgot what you said when you asked budget.
Just like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull together some, guys, I'm telling you, this is the shit nobody talks about. Nobody. This is the magic sauce. This. You get this part right, it opens up to other things that I can then teach you. But you gotta get this part right first. This is basic 101, okay? It's not in any book, no one talks about it. It's something that I learned by default. And it worked. I'm like, okay, that's too easy. Did it again, it worked again. Holy shit. Okay, maybe that's a fluke. Let me try it again. It always works, okay? So once you get it, you can't unget it. And it'll change the way you do business. So one more time on that transition.
I think we should pause and have everyone just role play that transition, like one-on-one real quick a few times, just to make sure you get your own verbiage into it too, and it sounds like it's actually you.
Okay, so here's the track. Here's the track. It's a track, okay? Okay, so next steps are this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send over a list of homes that meet your criteria. Oh man, I almost forgot. What is the budget that you're working with? Okay. So that's how that goes. So just get that piece right there. All right, here we go. Who feels comfortable with it now? Yes. That you won a couple rounds.
Was that helpful?
Maybe.
Did that help that little chunk? Okay, Amber.
Maybe. So what I say is, what was the first part? Oh, okay. Now that we have the criteria right, I'm going to follow up and send you some homes. One last thing. What's the ideal price point that you're looking to be in?
Okay. You have to make it sound like you made a mistake and you forgot.
I don't like doing that.
This is the art of sales.
Okay.
It makes
This
you
is
human.
the art of sales. Yes, conceptually that is correct, but it's the art form. Okay? Because what's happening is that you're putting the buyer's needs and wants above price. Because typically the phone call goes, oh great, how much you looking to spend? What do you want for that? And then you back down. And then you say, let me send you a list.
Okay.
Every agent on the earth does that, okay? I'm flipping it the other way around because there's one extra step after this that will be the game changer, okay? So you have to make it sound like you missed, like, oh my God, I almost forgot. You see what I mean? Like, oh my God, I almost forgot to give you the address to where the party is tonight. Oh my God, I almost forgot to tell you where we're meeting for drinks. You see what I mean? It's that type of verbiage, that type of tonality. Oh my God, I almost forgot to tell you that this meeting is running till 5 o'clock today. Are you gonna be okay? You see what I mean? Like, you see how that works?
Then we go out for dinner after that.
Yes, Jimmy John's is on its way, 30 minutes or less. Okay, so try it, just entertain me with that. Because I know it's different and it's awkward, right?
A little, yeah.
It's like, well, Dave, why would I do that?
Mm-hmm.
You want to make the big bucks? Do this.
Okay.
Okay? So go ahead.
Now that I have all of your criteria, I'm going to send you over a list of homes. Oh wait, I almost forgot. What's the price point that you're looking to be in?
Great tonality.
Yes.
Oh, boom! See how that sounded?
That's really good.
That was good.
Sound like me.
You said price point with a high-end
Yeah.
budget. Price point, budget. Which one sounds more luxury?
I like price point.
Have you ever sold a $10 million house?
No.
There ain't no price points in $10 million.
Okay.
It's the budget. See, these people have money in their pocket. So let's see what my budget is. Yeah, I got this. Price point. Price point is something you talk to the peasants about. This guy wants to be up on the mountain. I'm telling you, this is how people think. Because rich people don't talk to each other about price points. They talk about, hey, we're doing this round the world trip. Like, we're thinking about going, like, what do you think? I got some money I can spend. Well, what's your budget? You see? Okay?
Okay.
All right, who else wants to try it? Go.
Okay. Dave, so I have 6-bed.
No,
Fine.
take it from, I'm gonna, you got all that,
Dave.
and that you're gonna send the
Okay.
listings.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, so I feel like I have your criteria pretty good. What I'm gonna do from here is I'm gonna get a list together of some homes. You know what, Dave? Totally forgot. Before I send you the list, I should probably ask you what your budget is.
Boom.
Yeah, great.
Boom.
Exactly.
See, that's
Yeah, really good.
obviously, I know Aiden. That felt like Aiden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does that feel like Aiden?
Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
Like, does everyone see how there can be different word tracks, but with the same intention? So you do have to find something that sounds like you and something you would say, just like that sounded very Aiden. Like, you're gonna find something that sounds very you and very natural to you, but it's still gonna have that intention of, oh, I forgot, or oh, I almost, shoot, I didn't even think to ask, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's gonna be that, oh, I was so concerned about everything you wanted and getting that just right, I completely forgot to ask X, Y, Z. It's that same intention is what we're going for. It doesn't really matter what you say or how you say it. It's making them feel like you're so focused on what they're telling you and talking to you about that you didn't even ask one of the main things that everyone asks when you're shopping for a home, right?
Yeah.
Yay.
Ooh.
That's good.
Good. We got all that?
Yep.
We're good? Shit. Do social media. All right, who else? This is what $100,000 looks like. Okay? This is literally $100,000. So act like you have $100,000 because a $10 million house is gonna pay you what?
100,000.
300,000.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you only need a couple more to get 100. So act like you have 100 grand in your hands and act as if though. I want you to hold it while you do it. So let's hear it.
Oh Okay, thanks for reminding me about the school food. Now that I have a good criteria for what you're looking for, I'm gonna put together a search for you, a little list, and oh shoot, I almost forgot. What's the budget that you're working with?
Yeah.
Okay. How'd that sound?
Great.
Good.
It's just.
Give it to me.
Yeah. Take it.
Let's hear it.
Alright, so now that I know your budget, are you?
No, you don't know my budget.
Oh, what's your budget?
Great.
You said budget. Criteria.
Start with the piece that we're doing.
Okay. Alright.
You're like you're a female version of Dave Panozzo. We're gonna get along just fine. Focus. Hey, so we just went over everything. I'm gonna put together a list of homes.
And I'm gonna send you all that. But hey, you know what? I just forgot. What kind of budget are we looking at?
Okay, I need more.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I almost forgot. A little more exaggeration.
Okay. Oh my God, I totally forgot. What kind of budget are we looking for?
Yeah.
Better. One more round. Because remember, this is something you've never said to someone, so it's coming off weird. Brushing teeth with your good hand. Now you're brushing the teeth with your opposite hand. It doesn't feel right, but you're still getting the job done. You're still getting the job done, but I want just one notch more.
Okay. So now I'm gonna send you all that list of homes and all. Oh gosh, I totally forgot.
There it is.
Good job.
I'm good.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So now here's the next piece. What's your budget? And I'm gonna say, I'm trying to stay somewhere based off of what I see out there. I'd like to be somewhere between 13 and 15 million. Reaction.
Okay, that is a good price point. I'll put together a list and send it over. When would you be available
Okay.
to start viewing?
When's the last time someone said 13 to 15 million dollar budget? What is mentally going to happen to you when someone says that?
Oh, shit.
Probably blush.
Okay.
Ka-ching.
I need the enthusiasm. This works at all levels. 350,000, 500,000, 600, a million, 2 million, 100 million.
It doesn't matter what.
It doesn't matter. You still have to be like, well, I definitely feel that we can find something in that price point or in that budget. Okay? But you have to you gotta get it up. Because I'd be like, are you not excited to help me? That's how the client's gonna feel. It's just weird like that, okay? One more time.
Okay.
Hey, this is where I push. This is the hard coaching part. Hard coaching equals love, okay?
Tough love.
Yes.
13 to 50 million. That's great. I think we can find some homes within that price range. Is there a timeline on when you're available to look?
Okay. What do you guys think? Everyone's kind of
Like you still sped through, like you said it, and then you spread through, and like still.
We're not showing $500,000 houses here, okay? So let me walk you through. So something like this. Again, I know we're using ultra high level. I've never dealt with a $13 million home, just so you guys know, okay? But the same theatrics, the same tonalities is across the board, okay? Across the board. It will make your client feel like $1 million. Now, in this case, this is not I'm gonna send you a link and just log in and let me know which ones you like. Okay? No. So now I would be like, okay, 13 to 15 million budget. I know by experience that there are definitely homes that meet that price point in that area. Here's what I'm gonna do, because I don't wanna inundate you with a big long list of homes. I wanna hand pick a couple homes to send over to you and kind of get a feel from you what you like and don't like. Because I'm not gonna send you a big long list and then you have to go through it all. I'm just gonna handpick a couple. But before I do that, could you send me a couple screenshots of homes that you've seen that you like, so then that way I don't waste your time with some of the homes that don't match that look. See what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Okay? That's super important. That is what you call the call to action. Because if you're having that intimate conversation and you're talking to the client, and then all of a sudden you hang up and you're not getting the screenshots, that's your report card that you sucked.
And use words like hand select, custom, curate. Things like that just elevate your level of customer service.
Okay? This is the next level, okay? This is literally the nail in the coffin to know whether or not the client is into you, okay? Because so many times you have these great conversations, you send over the link, and they ghost you. That's because you didn't give them any value. So see, you're giving value by saying, let me see what you see. I want to get in your head. Because again, I don't want to waste your time looking at homes that don't meet your needs. That's really what you're doing. See how that works?
Yeah.
Who wants to try that one? Come
Can I
on.
ask you one question?
Yes.
When you say 13 million, right? I think when do you really ask them about the lender or pre-approved or pre-qualified loans?
Absolutely not.
What if
What if what?
he bought something else and all that thing?
What if you piss him off by asking him a very basic question that you're insulting him?
Okay.
Then what?
Well,
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. Your time on the phone, okay? You're burning that time no matter how you look at it. So if you think you're wasting your time on a phone call that's going to last 10 minutes, wake up call. You will spend sometimes a half day, a full day of spinning your wheels on the phone, or do you want to go out in your car and go spin wheels with someone that's not pre-approved? You're not going out in the car. See, you're jumping ahead thinking, well, now I'm going to be working with this person and I could be going out showing them $13 million houses and they're not pre-qualified. That's not the case here,
all right.
okay? That's not the case, so be careful on that.
Okay.
Because you throw that in at the end, that would be an insult. Okay? Got to be careful on that.
Could you go through the scenario of, because we would ask, like obviously on the phone, but let's just say, because I've seen in the higher price ranges where the listing agent will say no showings unless they have a pre-qual or proof of funds. Could you go through that scenario?
Not until you're scheduling the showing.
Right, well, yeah, like in that case, how you would ask that for that person?
Okay. First, we got to get this piece. We're not there yet. That's ultra advanced, okay? I don't even know where I was at.
Okay, 13, 15 million. We can definitely find some good places in that budget from my experience in the Silverleaf area. I'm going to give you a little assignment. If you don't mind, just send me a few screenshots of a few things you've seen online that you really like. That'll give me a better idea of what to look for you, and I'll be able to cater the search better for you and handpick places for you. How does that sound?
Okay.
Perfect. I'm excited to see what you've been looking at, and we'll touch base later.
Okay. What's the call to action after that?
To see if they sent me the screenshots. If they sent me the screenshots, I got an A. If they didn't send, then I got an F.
Okay.
And if I got an F, then I'll nudge them and say, hey, just checking if you managed to send a screenshot.
Okay. That's your follow-up. See, that would be considered a follow-up,
Yeah.
right? That's follow-up. Okay. Who else wants to try that? This is a tricky, listen, and I understand why the room is quiet right now, because it's confusing, okay? Because we've been doing things a certain way for how long?
Ever.
Forever, right? And so now I'm sharing a different concept, a different way, and it goes completely against You're brushing your teeth with the opposite hand, okay? Feels awkward. Does it feel right? Because that's not what I was taught. This sinks the hook in the fish's mouth. I want to make sure that I have the best chance with a client over the phone in a scenario like this, because they don't come around that often. Okay? I gotta pull out all stops. But I've also noticed that I do that with everybody at all price points, and it works just the same, if not better. Because a doctor looking for 13, 15 million, that dude's gonna be a handful. Okay?
So I think your guys' confusion is a lot of times I know where you guys are going with it. You're going with the pre-call. You're going with if we are getting the cold call or the lead phone, like you're going for the cold. I think what Dave is using in this scenario is someone that has checked the boxes a little bit more than what we're used to. I think that would help answer your guys' question of what if they can't, are they pre-qualified, or what do I say to the listing agent? In this case that Dave is giving, this is they've got it. It's not, they might not be right at that point, but they're gonna be somewhere around that, which is different than if we're getting the 500,000 and they're not sure what their budget is and they've never ran their credit. Different scenarios.
Different ball game. That's a different set of rules. Okay?
And you know what I love about this? That I'm finding on the Boomtown that a lot of people, they almost feel embarrassed that they can only pay, maybe only afford $350 or $4. And then when we ask it this way, it just seems like it's the least important thing.
Correct.
It's so great.
Correct. Yeah. It's a completely different spin, because let's be honest, when someone says my budget is $350 to $400, how do you guys react?
Just hang up right then.
Are you still excitable? No, it's fake. It's fake excitable. You're like, oh shit. Are you cool at Florence, Maricopa, Globe, Santan Valley? How far out? Are you okay with an hour-and-a-half commute? That's what's going through our head.
Do I have to go there and show homes? Hello?
Okay? So this is the part that you have to understand. This is a methodology that is completely opposite. So guess what happens when you're completely opposite than all the other agents?
Stand out.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what was that?
Stand out.
You stand out.
That's right.
So now all of a sudden you're different in a sea of a bunch of fish going the same way, you're going the other way. This makes you different. And sometimes when you're different, you get more attention. The name of the game here is attention. Right? Yeah. That's how the game's played. So, 13 to 15 million, we could definitely figure out a way to find you the right home. Now, are there any certain time frames we're working with here? Is this towards the end of the year? Is this a fire drill? You're gonna get some of those, you're gonna ask some of those questions, okay? Now, I know that he's out of state. So I'm probably gonna say something like, do you guys plan on making a visit here in the next 30, 60 days? Well, as a matter of fact, we plan on coming out in 2 weeks. That's awesome. So here's what I would like to do. Now this is me going deeper. I gave you little baby tracks, but this is me really having the conversation. So now it's gonna be, okay, perfect. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to hand pick a couple homes that I feel probably meet your criteria. But I'm also gonna give you some homework. Now in this homework, this is gonna be an easy assignment. I just need a couple screenshots from you on homes that you've seen online that pique your interest. I will take that and handpick the ones that have similar features and characteristics to send those over to you for approval or to get your thoughts on, because I wanna make sure I'm not wasting your time. What do most people say about salespeople? Don't waste my time. Okay? So now we've had this high-level conversation. I've gotten the screenshots. I've picked a couple homes. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put together an email It's gonna go something like this. Bob, here are a few homes that I found that meet your criteria. The map below are where they are located. Advanced moves here. You ready? So now you're going to go in the MLS. You're going to have 3 or 4 homes. You're going to do a snippet of the map, copy and paste it onto an email. Now, typically when you do that, what happens is it's huge. Okay, it takes up the whole entire email. What you're going to do is there's a little in the corner. You're going to take your mouse and you're going to shrink it down to make it small. Okay? There's the houses on the map. And then right here, you're going to put the link from MLS. Down here, let me know your thoughts. Question mark. You're going to send that email over. You're also going to text them. Hey Bob, I just shot you an email. Why do you do that? Well, guess what? Everyone's email, typically with the settings that, when people get a virgin email from somebody, typically they go into a spam or junk folder. This way you're being proactive instead of just sending over an email and going, I hope he got it, I hope he got it. Man, it's been a day, it's been 2 days, it's been a week, it's been a month. He ghosted me. Well, it's because it went into a spam folder. So now you gotta tell him in a text message, hey Bob, good talking earlier. Just to let you know, I just shot you an email. And if you don't see it in your inbox, check your spam folder or your junk mail. Giving them direction, right? Taking him through what to do. Sometimes we have to tell people what to do.
Yeah.
Okay? That would be a start to finish type of ordeal. Okay? So now that he's done that, he goes, holy cow, there's 3 homes that I definitely want to see. Okay, sounds great. So what are your plans to come into town? We're going to be there 2 days after Memorial Day. Perfect. So where are you staying? We're staying at the Fairmont Princess. Okay, great. Let's plan on, I'm picking you up at 10 a.m. I will set up all the appointments, blah, blah, blah. Hey, Bob. Now I know this is going to sound awkward. At this price point, sometimes the sellers get a little persnickety. 2 of the 3 homes want to know if you are well qualified or not. I know you are, but they don't know that. Could you possibly get a letter from your bank saying that you have the funds to be able to do this? I'm kind of embarrassed to ask you that, but this is what they're requiring. Because I think what's happening is that they're trying to lessen the social media influencers going around. There's this one girl named Aiden that she goes around and she videos all these homes in town. And we're trying to, whatever you want to say. Do you see where I'm going with that? Does that help you?
Yeah, that's good.
So again, I feel a little awkward asking this, but this is the requirements in order to show the home. Now, we don't need bank statements, just need a letter. Or if you want to show off and give me a screenshot of your Bitcoin account or whatever, you can make a funny out of it, but you got to be careful on your audience because that is very sensitive. Because typically they'll come back with, that's none of their business. I totally understand. How do you suggest we then look at these homes if that's a requirement? Because I've already spoken to the agent. I tried to do the good guy Dave and get around, but they're very firm on providing a proof of funds. Sometimes you can skirt around it, sometimes you can't. Okay? Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Questions?
what if he totally didn't like those homes? What if he totally didn't like the homes?
Keep looking. Because you're only going to be able to look a 13, $15 million home. Those are going to be probably 10,000 square foot homes. I'm going to tell you right now, showing 3 in one day,
Workout.
you will come home and pass out.
Yeah.
You will come home and pass out. That's a lot. That's a lot. All right, so let's back into this. It's 117. We're gonna go one more round. Do you guys like this?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go one more round, but I'm gonna throw a little sneaker in there. Okay? We're gonna start from. We don't have to go through the whole thing. We'll start off with, I'm gonna tell you everything I want and then recap.
Okay.
And then we'll take it from there, okay? So we're gonna cut half, we're gonna cut this in half, okay? So yeah, I'm looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. We're open to a pool, but the kids are little, so we're a little concerned if we do have a pool. So I'm trying to convince my wife, okay, to get a pool. And definitely like a community that has sport courts, community pool. You know, sometimes they have the workout facilities, something like that.
That is common in Arizona, homes with community pools and gyms. So you're looking at a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. What type of garage space are you looking for?
We're fine with a 2-car, and if we can find a 3-car, that'd be awesome. But I know a lot of times, you know, based off of what we've been seeing, I only see 2 cars.
I will customize a search with the criteria. And I forgot to ask, what budget were you looking at? Or what type of budget do you have?
Okay. I need you to be excitable. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
It sounds completely different, right? So again, recap.
Okay, that's great. There's some wonderful communities that have a lot of different amenities. So you're looking at a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, possibly open to a pool. We'll look at both options. I'll put together a custom list to send over to you. I forgot to ask, what budget are you looking at?
Okay. Did that sound sincere?
Yeah.
No. It sounds right in your head,
Yeah.
but it's not coming out the way that I taught it. How did I teach that?
Hold on, 1 second. I'm gonna have to change my mindset. I'm gonna pretend I'm like my neighborhood or something. My neighborhood, because I get excited about it, you know, it's fun.
You need to get excited about the ghetto. Like, it's excitement across the board. It doesn't matter. You gotta get excited about Florence. You gotta get excited about Arizona City. It's all the curtains open up. The light is coming down on you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is the crazy part. Like, this is a skill set that you can literally turn on whenever you want.
Yeah, so great. Let's touch on what you were looking for. A 3-bedroom, 2-bath, open to a pool, or a community pool with other amenities like a gym and such. I forgot to ask, what budget are you looking at?
All right, who else wants to try?
You know what I'm getting at? Well, maybe if you record yourself when you're home and then you could hear it. That's what I do for myself.
You're going like this the whole. You're going like this the
well,
whole
it's
time.
funny because I'm thinking about, even when I'm on the phone, I feel like I'm excited with people that I'm talking to. Am I not? No.
You don't sound like it.
Maybe you hear yourself as I
Okay, so watch this. Give me right now, like 10% of like, say hi Dave with excitement. You know, like hi Dave. So give me like 20%.
Hi Dave, this is Yvette. How are you?
Just hi Dave. I just want to hear that.
Hi Dave.
Okay, that's 20%. Now give me 30.
Hi Dave.
Okay. Give me 60. Give me 60.
Hi Dave.
Okay. Give me 80.
Hi Dave.
like your family is being held hostage. And if you don't say hi Dave in like a very like robust, like realistic, not fake, like hi Yvette, like give me.
Okay. Hi, Dave.
That's been the best one so far.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel the difference in those?
Yeah.
Just give me just a little bit more on top.
Okay, so we're looking at a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, open to a pool in a community that has a lot of different amenities for your family. That will be a fun list to put together, and I will customize a list for you and get it out to you today. What type of budget are you looking at?
You're doing so good, but you kept rolling with the same tonality into the oh my God! Hi, Dave. Oh, almost forgot. The price. What's your guys' budget? See did you just hear all that?
Yeah.
The tonality just went all over. So that sounded like very sincere. But when you're like, oh, I forgot, what was the budget that you were looking for? Did that sound sincere? Guys, your tonality, I'm telling you, it is crazy how someone can perceive that. Okay? Who else wants to try?
Sorry, I gotta interrupt real quick.
Go for it.
We need 3 to 4 open house signs if anyone has them in their car, anything that we can steal.
I really, really want you guys to understand that your tonality and how you speak matters.
Yeah.
All the time. On the phone, in person, at appointments, when you feel like dog shit and you want to go to sleep. Tonality. Tired because you watched a Netflix series until 2 a.m. Tonality. Expressions. Oh my God, isn't this cool? I can't believe it. Oh my God, I almost forgot. I forgot to ask you the price. See how I did that? All these little things will add up and it'll make the client feel really special. Okay?
Yeah.
We have to go out on a bang here. I need someone to do that last little bit. Who wants to do it?
I'll do it.
Come on, Katie.
Okay, Dave, so I want to be sure I got this all right. You said 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. I love that you're open to a 2-car garage because that's probably the most of what we're going to see. You want a community with amenities and maybe a pool. So we'll kind of pull a mixture of that. So what I'm going to do is put together a very curated list for you of homes that I think some of them might kind of stretch the boundaries, but I'm going to send this to you because I don't want to waste your time to take a look at it. And don't laugh, okay? You're going to hate me. I forgot to ask the most important question.
See how she did that? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
She even threw in don't laugh.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
She knows, this isn't like big time baller, right? This is gonna be what? A $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 house, okay? So she knows, the demeanor probably of the client. But hear how she did that, okay? You're not gonna be overboard like, I'm very theatric. That is my personality, but I do tone it down when I know the right audience. But 90% of the time I am theatric because I want people to get their money's worth. Is how I look at it, okay? And so practicing on how you sound over the phone and in person is very important. And again, are you broken? Absolutely not. It's just, when we were going over the tones, 3 of the tones sounded the same. So it's something that you can't hear. And everyone around you knows you for you. But then when you're around someone else, what happens is, maybe they're like, oh, maybe she's just, a little mellow today or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? You don't know what people think. And it's something as easy as just making a little tweak. And it's crazy what will happen is that'll just open up a whole other world for you. Anyone else want to try one more? I can do this all day. Come on, Joseph. Just say, I'm going to put together a list for you and blah, blah, blah.
So what I'm gonna do is curate a list for you guys of hand-picked selections that fit your criteria, and then we'll put a game plan together, go out and see these homes. And oh, I almost forgot. What kind of budget are you guys looking at?
Exaggerate that just a little bit more.
And,
Just a tish more.
And oh, I almost forgot. What kind of budget are you guys looking for?
There. Hear the difference?
Yeah.
Going from here to, oh, almost forgot. You know, it's like, oh, it slipped my mind. Okay?
Yeah.
Is that good? Want more? Are you good? What's the takeaways that you got from today?
Voice inflections are important.
Not bringing up budget too soon.
Yeah.
Because that's something I'll do.
Do not bring budget up too soon. Correct. What else?
You have to practice.
Gotta practice, guys. Like, the love method can be practiced. Who practiced the love method yesterday? What did you walk away with?
It was so good. It was so good.
Who'd you practice on?
I practiced on my way.
Was he onto you?
No, no, but I couldn't believe how much I was listening. I was like biting my tongue because I wanted to. Oh my God. So it was humbling. So, and then I carried it into my calls and I had some really good conversations.
Good.
Really good. So
Good. Good. Who else over here experimented? Anyone? No? Yeah, I'm like, why? How many people did you talk to after you left here?
Not much. I mean, you know, when I go home, it's like I'm a.
Did you go straight home?
Yes.
I know some people were making those phone calls because I had lots of emails to transfer people.
Okay, so here's the thing. Anywhere you go where there is a cashier, love method. So how's your day going? It's going okay. Oh man, what's okay about it? Validate, I expanded. What's okay with it? Well, I got 2 jobs. Holy cow, you work 2 jobs? Good for you. Are you saving up for something? You see? And you will see the demeanor of these people literally change. Because they're treated like shit all day long and someone is actually asking a meaningful question. That's what I'm trying to drill home here. It makes people feel good when you ask questions. Katie, how are you feeling today?
Pretty good.
Hey, you know what? I'm going on vacation next month.
No way, where are you going?
But see, I just totally stepped right over how she felt and I wanted to brag and one up her. That's what we do. And I just want you guys, listen, I understand that you don't get it all the way. All I'm doing is bringing the awareness up. Once you're aware of what's going on, then you can start to go, oh shit, I do sound that way. Or I am saying stupid, I need to change. Because once you get the awareness, then you can change. If you don't have the awareness, you can't change. It's like the analogy of an alcoholic and they're having an intervention and they tell the guy, hey, listen, you're an alcoholic. And the alcoholic goes, absolutely not. I don't have a drinking problem. Give me another beer. Right? But until they get to a certain point and then they're like, well, I got my 7th DUI. Yeah, I guess I do have a problem. I need help. And then they finally fix. Okay? I'm not saying you guys are alcoholics. Okay? I'm just saying the awareness factor will start to kick in, okay? And seriously, the way that you get better at this is practice. If you go to the gas station, you go to the grocery store, wherever you go, you can do this. You can practice on your kids, you can practice on your husband, your spouse, whoever you are engaged with on a daily basis. And it's not you're not doing a pitch, you're just doing a basic love method that will open up conversation. You'll be like, holy shit, I just opened up a conversation. I need to cut this person off. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So please, practice. The better you get, the better you'll get with clients. Okay? Cool?
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's make it happen.
Thank you.
All right, that's a wrap. Thursdays in the history books. We covered a lot of stuff today. Now, If you want to know more, please make a comment down below. We'll connect over a quick phone call or maybe an email or a text message. I don't know, but we can communicate. Hey, also too, subscribe, hit the like button, and make it a great day.